I call the member for O'Connor.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. And I rise today to update the House on the status of live animal exports to Israel since the October 7 Hamas invasion and how Australia continues to deliver an important source of food security to the Middle East. According to LiveCorp, the value of Australia's live sheep export trade to the Middle East is $143 million, and it supports around 3,500 regional jobs, mostly in my electorate of O'Connor. In 2023, live sheep exports to Israel were up fourfold on the previous year, and WA live exporters continue to successfully ship consignments to Israel and the broader Middle East. Unfortunately, the voyage of the MV Bahija has proved an exception, and there must be serious questions asked of the Department of Agriculture, Food and Forestry as to why this shipment was approved in the first place. While Israeli importer Bassam Dabar has exported to Israel in the past, it appears nonsensical that the safety of an Israeli consignment via the Red Sea was not questioned by DAF. May I state for the record that no one disputes that the rerouting of the Bahija away from the threat of Houthi rebel attacks near the Red Sea was the safest option to protect human and animal life. But the fact that the contingency discharge destinations for the Bahija was also deemed unsafe only reinforces the poor judgment that DAF exercised in permitting this ill-fated voyage. After the exporter voluntarily rerouted the Bahija towards South Africa on the 16th of January, DAF explored the viability of multiple exporter applications to reroute. But on the 20th of January, DAF directed the Bahija to return to the Fremantle port, arriving on the 29th of January 2024. Questions must be asked of DAF as to why, on arrival in Fremantle in the midst of a heatwave, there was no clear plan for either offloading or the reshipping of livestock aboard the Bahija. It has recently come to light that DAF decision-making was confounded by the intervention of animal activists. Animals Australia had lodged multiple submissions to DAF while publicly peddling fake news, posting historical photographs imposed on land temperatures of up to 41 degrees, fabricating animal suffering that is simply not happening. Only yesterday, DAF reported that the department continues to receive daily updates from the veterinarian aboard the vessel and the livestock remain in good condition. Meanwhile, in Israel, animal activists are seeking a court injunction to prevent the Bahija from discharging should it ever reach its desired destination. DAF has admitted these actions and uncertainties confounded and delayed their decision-making process. Ultimately, DAF ordered the Bahija to be unloaded, with livestock to be held in a registered live export feedlot pending a final decision. This raises the obvious question of how much suffering are animal activists willing to create in order to achieve their ideological goals of ending not only live animal exports, but commercial live production in general. One thing that has become clear throughout this entire Bahija episode, now clocking up its 39th day, is that our animal welfare standards do work and are leading the world.